has the gym taught you about your body?
Stronger, not skinny.
Yeah.
So it's all about, you know what, you can, there's a little bit of discipline in it. I lack self-discipline so badly.
Hello and welcome to Finding My User Manual, a podcast all about learning how to be human when no one gave you the instructions. My name is Tiggs Rice and I am an empowerment photographer based in London, UK. And we are joined today by Lesley.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm okay. Yeah, no, I'm good.
I'm so thrilled that you are here. I am going to briefly introduce you to anyone out here who may not yet have had the pleasure of meeting you. So Lesley is the owner of Ab Fab Fit Club Gunpowder, a women-only gym built on one powerful belief: strong, confident women change the world. And I love that. After 25 years of working in IT, Lesley made a bold career change at 50, qualifying as a personal trainer and stepping fully into her passion, helping women feel strong, capable, and happy in their own skin. Her work centers on celebrating what our bodies can do, not just how they look, creating a supportive space where strength, resilience, and confidence can grow at any age. Outside the gym, Lesley is a joyful mix of adventure and creativity, from Dungeons and Dragons and dancing to sailing, hiking, kayaking, sewing, and gardening. When she's lifting weights or chasing the wind on the water, she lives by one philosophy: life is meant to be lived boldly. Strong, capable, adventurous, and absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
How has your week been so far? Tell me about what you've been up to lately.
What day are we on?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Busy. It's always constantly busy. So if I'm not at the gym, I'm working for the gym. So yeah, it's tiring, but I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah, you've got to, as I was saying, you've got to have a job you love. And I'm fortunate enough that I have people around me that support me and help me do that job. My coaches are all amazing. But yeah, there's a lot. I think there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see. But yeah, busy but fruitful. So yeah.
That. If you came with a user manual, what would it say on page 1?
I really struggled with this, I'll be honest. And I mean, you've met my husband, right?
I have, yeah.
And I really struggled. And I'm like, I really don't know what I'm going to put on this year's manual. What am I going to put in this year's manual? And he turned around and he went away. And he presented me with my little mini user manual.
You sent me a picture.
I did send you a picture.
Amazing.
And I dread to think what he put in AI to get that out. But it did actually get me thinking that, you know, there's so much that we do in life. And I think fear will stop a lot of people from doing things.
Yeah.
So my page 1 will always say, give it a go. Don't let fear stop you. Say yes to everything and anything. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here with you now, right?
100%.
I think you've just got to embrace the moment. You've got one life. You've got to live it. And if you keep saying no to things, you're never going to get the full benefit out of what we've been given to live.
I'm going to take us back to roughly 2-ish years ago, because we actually met on a photo shoot.
We did 3 years ago.
Well, yes.
3 years ago.
And
yeah.
It was the second one, wasn't it?
It was the second one that I said, oh, yeah, I think I might buy a gym.
Yeah. And it was wonderfully surreal, but also so aligned with who you are. And I mean that in the most fruitful compliment I can possibly say that.
Yeah.
It was so aligned. And talk to me about that journey, because I mean, as we've just said in your introduction, you have had a lengthy career in something completely separate.
Yeah.
How did this come about?
So my life started in IT. I went off to university. I did a degree. I came out. I bumbled around for a bit. I tend to do a lot of bumbling in my life, and things happened to land.
Yeah.
I've never had sort of like. I always said I never wanted to work with computers. Hate them. Loathed them. Ended up working for a supermarket chain in their head office. Mentioning their names. And then spent 12 years working there, then got made redundant, found a job in a school which fitted perfect around the family life. So it meant I could work term times only. I could have holidays with the kids. It was perfect. But again, it was in IT support. And, shout out to all the IT support in schools, because they really do not get enough mention. They're saints, a lot of them. And then I started to get a bit stressed. My job role changed a little bit, and they asked me to take on a department, and it was doing IT stuff. I mean, everybody says, "Oh, you work in IT, you must know everything." It doesn't work like that.
If only.
Yeah, so you've got very specific roles within IT, and my role was data. I can crunch data. I love data. I love the fine tuning of everything. It has to be, the blah, blah, blah data. You can really drill into it and really find out some really interesting things about it. So I love data, but they wanted me to do networks.
Right.
And I'm like, it's a pay rise. I don't really want to do it. So I did that for a few years, and I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I was going home, I was in tears every night, and my husband was like, seriously, if you don't want to do this, don't do it.
Yeah.
And it took a very long time for me to actually accept that. He was contracting uptown, and he's like, look, we can afford to do this. The issue that I had was the upbringing I've had was I was always, you have to be independent. You need to be financially independent. This is how you're going to do it. You have a job, you earn your own money. If anything goes tits up, you've got that security. And I was like, it took me 6 whole months to actually turn around and go, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I quit. And it was one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, so I'm living my life now. I'm now a 50s housewife. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm sewing, I'm doing all the things that you would expect, Women's libs has gone out the window because I'm doing it all at home. I'm the proper little housewife. Just give me a little pinny, and which I actually then made myself a little pinny to do it all in. And I was just getting really bored. I love my husband to bits, but when he's the only person you talk to, all your friends are still working, you're like... Anyway, this advert for the gym came up, and I'm like, oh, should we just go down and have a look? And I was like, all right, we'll go down and have a look. So I signed up to become a member. That was in the January of 2020. They just opened the branch. And so, yeah, I was like, so we went down, yeah, I'll sign up for your 6-week program. I'll give it a go. And then I got talking, and I was looking for something, and I was talking to one of the coaches, Katie Bynes, love you, darling. And she was like, well, I think you'll be really good at this. Why don't you have a go at doing exercise to music level 2? She's like, you've got a dance background, you'll be all right, crack on with it. I said, oh, all right then. And then, of course, lockdown hit. So everything went online, including the gym.
Yeah.
So we did lots of online workouts, and I was studying for my PT, my level 2, and I finished level 2. She went off travelling and deserted me. Still love you. And then it was like, I was like, okay, so I finished my level 2, now what? And I'm like, yeah, might as well do the level 3.
I mean, why not? Lean in, right?
Lean in, go for it, whole hog, do the PT. And I did. And the owners of AbFab then turned around to me, and they knew I was doing these qualifications. They're like, well, what are you going to do with them when you finish? I don't know. Might come and cover for you if you want, And they were like, well, we are thinking of franchising. Are you interested? And I went, I'll have a look. And then that happened. It took a long time. We started talking in the March, and all the paperwork and everything with regards to the building and the rent and all the boring stuff. It didn't really happen officially until the 2nd of November. Not that I know the date. It's not that it's in there. 2nd of November. It was my first day owning AbFab Fit Club.
I don't think you ever really forget the first day. Like I have two, because I've got like December the 1st, 2009, which was the day that I registered for self-employment. I mean, we're 16, 17 years away from that now.
Yeah.
That date is ingrained. And then I've also got the one for when I incorporated my limited company as well. And it's such a milestone, isn't it? I mean, suddenly you have full control of that destiny.
You do, and yet you still have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I've got no idea how to set up a company. How do you set up a company? Oh, well, let's go to company's house. Okay. We'll type some random rubbishy. Oh, look, my company's now called Ladybird Leisure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you still have no clue what you're doing when you first start out. And it's such a big learning curve. But you just got to lean in with it, go with it. What's the worst that can happen, right?
I mean, yeah.
Worst that can, I go bankrupt. Oh, well.
What was the... was there anything that had specifically called you, do you think, to self-employment, or was this a series of fortunate events that led to...
Oh, my life is full of series of fortunate events.
Yeah.
I don't specifically plan over it. I mean, I did the course with no idea of taking on the gym. I did it, but I had to set up my own company so that I could put in an invoice and get paid for the cover that I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
And it was just supposed to be a little bit of pocket money in the back pocket, you know, just to tide me over and see how I go. And it was never going to be, you know, my husband thought I was going to go off and set my own Etsy store up and make clothes and do things. And so it was completely different, because I started off making jewellery, I started off making clothes, I started off lots of little things I just wanted to fill my spare time with that I enjoyed doing. And then, yeah, it was never a conscious decision that, you know, I'm going to go off and I'm going to conquer the world with PT, because, I don't feel that. I as I say, I bumble through life. It lands in my lap and I go, oh, look, that's good. Let's have a giggle with that.
This is fun. Let's follow that adventure.
Let's see where that leads me.
Have you always been adventurous? Like,
oh, God, I struggle quite a lot. I'm the youngest of 3 children. And my sister was always the gregarious, outgoing personality of the family. My brother's quite quiet, he's quite reserved, and he's the eldest. And I was kind of like the spare part at the back, you know.
Oh, bless you.
And I just kind of like, nobody's paying any attention to me because they're either listening to my sister or they're making sure she's not getting into trouble, and I can just, you know, follow behind in her shadow, which she probably hated. But yeah, and I just sort of like, it wasn't really something, I was always too scared to do things. What if I fail? What will people think of me if I can't do what I'm doing?
Yeah.
If I can't do it, I'm going to look stupid. I don't like looking stupid. Nobody likes looking stupid. And it was just sort of like, and I got to the point and it's like, well, they didn't say no, but they're having a bit more fun than I am. There's a limit where you go, actually, I can look stupid or I can miss out.
Yes.
And actually, what's the worst if you look stupid?
Yeah.
There are, you know what, and I think as I've got older, you know, menopause has now hit, and it was sort of like, you know, I'm 50, I don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
So what?
I do think every time, I mean, so I remember, I don't actually feel like 20 I hit anything, but I remember at 30 I was like, oh, I feel like something in me has just suddenly given me permission to just not carry as much, and I'm now like,
oh, wait till you hit 50, love.
Wow.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm literally on the cusp of 40 and I'm like, I can feel the next one coming. It's like the next generation of unbothered is like leveling up through my body.
Oh, wait till I hit 70, mate. I'm really not going to give a rat's ass about anything.
Do you know what? I'm actually really looking forward to knowing that version of you. Do you remember the first thing that was like your big, the big first yes of like, you know what? Sod everyone else, I'm saying yes because this makes me happy, or I want to do this thing.
Okay, this is it's a bit of a surreal one. I'd always done what was expected of me.
Yeah.
And it was actually walking away from a marriage that wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of, I was still brought up in the age where there was stigma around, but it wasn't when I got divorced. Nobody gave.
Yeah.
But because that was how I grew up, and, you know, you were taught you stay together regardless.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, you kind of feel, and there were children involved, so there was a whole heap of amount of guilt. But it was like, if I don't walk away from this situation where I'm not happy, it's going to go downhill. I'll end up, you know, and you have to be a bit selfish sometimes to get the best outcome, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very difficult decision. It wasn't an easy decision to make, not by a long shot. And that took a while as well. And you try and work at it and you go, well, actually, no, it's still not feeling right. I don't feel that I am where I need to be or where I should be. This is not a good place for me. I need to walk away. We need to sort something out with the children. We need to change that. And then, you know, you still get guilt about how did those actions affect the children. There's no doubt about that. But how those actions, if I hadn't taken those actions, how it would have affected me would probably have been more detrimental.
Well, that's the thing, right? And especially when you have dependents underneath you, the most important thing is seeing that the people looking after them and responsible for their care are happy, healthy, and, you know, by all means, leading by example of making sure that you're leading the best life for you as well. And
Yeah,
it might be hard in the moment, but I'm sure actually the actions that you took to, you know, knowing nothing about the, I don't know what the situation was, but making sure that you were putting something in place that made sure that you were happy, healthy, safe, whatever adjectives we need to put in there. It's such a good role model to be setting.
And I say to a lot of my ladies when they phone up and they're like, oh, I care for this person. I care for my mother. I care for my elderly relative. I care for my children. And it's like, actually, do you know what? If you don't care for yourself, you have not got the ability to care for anybody else. Self-care is the most important care you can give.
Yeah.
And if that means you come across as selfish, then sometimes you have to be that selfish.
When you had gone through and everything was finalised and, you know, things was dotted and signed and whatnot, what was the feeling that you had?
There was relief. But, you know, just because everything's dotted and signed doesn't mean it's then going to become easy.
Oh, for sure.
So there were still always bits that had to be worked out. You know, for the most part, I mean, there's always going to be arguments, but for the most part, we were civil and we tried to be humane about it because you have to, because you've got children involved. And then, you know, when we both got another partner and things kind of evened out even more. But yeah, I mean, relief that I could, did I feel empowered? I don't know whether I felt empowered as such, but I felt a new beginning. I had one friend who turned around to me and said, it's good to have you back. And I'm like, I haven't actually been anywhere, but I was obviously turning into a different person in that relationship, and that person was not the person I am. So yeah, then they turn around and say, oh, it's nice to see you back. And you're like, oh, okay, all right. I've now got permission to be who I am rather than who somebody thinks I should be.
I'm going to ask you to say that again so there's not a siren just behind. But that's very
What did I say?
Start from the friend said nice to be back.
So yeah, I had a friend who turned around to me and said, oh, it's nice to have you back. And you don't realise you're turning into a different person. And it was just very much a case of who was I turning into? Whoever it wasn't me. And it was like I had validation to have done what I've done, to walk away from something that wasn't what I needed or wasn't beneficial to my welfare. So yeah, it was not liberating, but it was, you know.
Yeah. something and you gave yourself permission to go,
Yeah,
live my thoughts.
yeah. It was like, okay, actually, what I've done is okay. It's not,
Yeah.
you are the devil kind of thing,
And since then, what are some fun yeses you've said yes to? Because I feel like there's some wonderful adventures in here.
Oh, well, yes, I said yes to a boudoir shoot.
What was that experience like for you?
Do you know what? I loved absolutely every minute of it. I was just sort of like, from having the hair and the makeup done and, opening the suitcase with all the goodies in it and going, oh, look what I bought. I bought a whip, yay. And they're like, okay, alrighty. This is liberating. It was absolutely. I left, my husband picked me up, we went for dinner, and I left out feeling like I could rule the world. You just sort of like, oh, yes. There is something good about me. And then when you see the shots at the end as well, I mean, I will be honest, I did one before I did a shoot with you. I did one for my best friend's daughter, who was studying photography at university. Yeah. And she kept asking for people to come up and do shoots with her. So, I'm like, well, yeah, okay. And I did it originally because my teenage daughter was having some self-confidence issues about how she looked. She wore baggy clothes and everything. And I was just sort of like, I got to that point and I'm like, you know what, yeah, I'll do it. So she had quite a few people come in, do photos and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. And then I went to the graduation. They put a display on at the Truman Show, at the Truman Centre, at the brewery.
Yes, yeah.
And I went in and she had an album of photos and she had 3 main pictures. And I was the only one in it. And I was like, well, when I volunteered, I wasn't expecting to be, because she'd taken so many other pictures and I guess they were for pieces of coursework and stuff like that. I wasn't expecting to be the final product. And that was quite, woo. And then I came and did yours and I'm like, yes, I'm ready for this. I'm good. And you come out and it was just, I felt so great. It was, yeah. If you're on the borderline and you don't want to get your kit off, come and do it. Absolutely come and do it, because it is, and then I did one at St Albans as well, didn't we?
Yes, with the planes one.
With the planes and bombs.
Actually, funnily enough, was in the newspaper not too long ago.
Oh, yes. I don't think they did my photo in that. I think they did somebody else's photo, but they did all of my interview.
Oh, I had a feeling it was it, but I mean, you're definitely in it.
I am. I'm in there, and my husband even got a mention as well. So yeah, that was weird. That was weird.
What is it like? I'm actually going to take you back to that graduation.
Okay.
One. What is it like being photographed by someone, but obviously from a huge body of work, realizing that you were there, I suppose,
their final piece.
Yeah. How does that feel to be, I mean, almost in a sense of that photo of you is so important to them as well.
Yeah. It was quite overwhelming, actually, because it wasn't, obviously, I was completely gobsmacked. And it was just interesting listening to what people said about it as they walked around and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. Nobody could recognise me. I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like, but I was proud to be a part of her journey, for her to be able to fulfil what she wanted to achieve. And, she was so talented. And it was just sort of, it was just surreal. It was like, oh, okay. Where's everybody else's pictures then?
Have you always been body confident? Or is that something? Oh, no. Wait. Okay. I mean, how do we get there?
How do we get there?
Yeah.
How do we get there? I'm not entirely sure. I think it is just a case if you get to a certain point and you go, right, okay. I mean, for you, you've got to make me look good, because otherwise your business is going to go, right?
I mean, yes, but you bring the raw materials, so you make my job easy.
Oh, bless you. I'm going to come again. I think it's just sort of, you have to listen. Don't listen to the inner monologue that you tell yourself you're not good enough, because there's always somebody out there that is going to say, well, actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah. You've got to listen to ignore the negatives, embrace the positives. I've got a lady at the gym, and she's so negative about herself, but so positive about everybody else. And you're like, well, why do you do that? If you can't see the positive, if you see the positive in absolutely everybody else and how everybody else is so wonderful, why can't you see the positive in yourself?
Yes.
And you know, you kind of sit there, and it's like the first shoot I did with you, I was like, I was pretty fit. I was like 50 and fabulous, and I was like, yeah, let's get this down in photo frame before it all disappears. You know, again, nobody else is going to see it except my husband, except everybody else who's gone onto the website and seen it now, right?
I mean, yes, but also that was, you know, I mean, I operate very much from an enthusiastic consent. So you have the opportunity not to, but I think, I mean, they are just fierce.
But don't say no.
I suppose there is strong, and I mean, we are at Fontaine's where that shoot.
It is, yeah.
The bar in question that you are reclining on, literally there. And
I did actually I showed my friend the photos that we did there, and she kind of, we were in the gym. She's like, oh, this is a different side to you. And I went, is it? Oh, yeah, well, I guess you don't see it. You see it clad in lycra. You don't see it not in lycra. you don't see it. You don't see it in the you know, in the mood. But yeah, I was, and she was like, oh, I didn't really think of looking at it. Oh, okay. And I'm like, you know what? Again, it's one of those things. You hit a certain age and you're like, I've just got to try it. It's only going to be once, right? And then, of course, I book another one. And then, you know. So whenever I need to pick me up, it's, well, Tix has got an offer on. Got to do it. Let's go. Let's do it.
I feel like you and I have such a shared experience of spending time with women, not just women, but women in very emotional spaces. For me, that is standing in front of a camera, sometimes with clothes on, sometimes without. And for you, I think also being in a place like fitness and the gym, which can often be another very vulnerable place for a woman to be.
And it is, and this is why we went down the road of a ladies only.
Yeah.
So we're quite a small gym, a little boutique type gym, if you like. It's not a huge, not massive. We've got no treadmills. We do have equipment. We've got quite a lot of equipment. And the number of women that come to me because it is a ladies only gym and it is a safe space for them. There's no testosterone flying around. There's no men through the gym. You know, most of our ladies turn up in baggy t-shirts, joggers. You know, we haven't got the influence going, oh yeah, look at me, I'm wonderful, look how much I can. And it's great if that's your living and, you know, you've got fantastic physique. But for me, for a lot of the ladies that come to us, they feel too intimidated to go to a general gym. Yep. And whether it is, you know, you've got, I mean, even when I was doing my training, I was doing my level 3, we went to a gym to do it. And there was, we went off into pairs and there was a young girl, she's probably, I say young, I mean, I was 50, she's probably sort of mid-20s or something, but she was a lot younger than I was, right? And she went off and worked with this guy, and there was still a guy there giving her grief for using her machine, even while we were on the course. And I do sit there and I'm like, you don't need that kind of aggravation. You're there to improve yourself and you know, make yourself feel more confident. And, you know, the measures of success and the measures of improvement are not just numbers on a scale. They're not just the numbers you can lift. They are all to do with, you know, self-esteem, self-confidence. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you are improving? That is more important. Well, I've had a number of ladies that have come to our gym. Some have depression. Some have poor body image. We've even had ladies with PTSD that have come in. And it is a space where they can switch off. Nobody knows them. They don't know them from work. They don't know them from their social group. It's a place where they can come, reinvent themselves.
Yeah.
And for me, that's really important. And we like to promote the whole, we want to get to know you. You are not just a number on a sheet. You are not just another member. You're not just a paycheck for me. I like to get to know my members. I like to know what makes them tick. You know, there's a lot of things that goes on outside the gym. They might not want to share it, and that is absolutely fine. But as long as we can give them the confidence to come in, and they're always like, oh, I didn't want to come today, but I'm so glad I did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, yeah, that's the endorphins from the exercise. But the more you do it, the more you want it.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so you become more confident in that way. And I think it's a very important part. You know, regular gyms have their place, and yes, we are more expensive than a regular gym. I'm not going to lie about that. But you get a bespoke service with us. You know, my average class size is only about 10 people. Does your gym instructor know who you are? Does she notice if you don't turn up?
Oh my gosh, my gym instructor noticed if I didn't turn. I mean, that would get me in the gym. Like, oh yeah, I've been noticed that I'm missing.
Yeah,
but yeah, those,
you know, and
it's a difference.
It is, you know, we'd like to think that everybody's individual. Everybody has life. Life gets in the way, and that is fine. But if life has got in the way for somebody, we want to know if we can help in some way. You know, the gym is an escape for a lot of women, and it's nice to be able to provide that environment for them to be able to do that.
What has the gym taught you about your body?
Stronger, not skinny.
Yeah.
So it's all about, you know what, you can, there's a little bit of discipline in it. I lack self-discipline so badly, and I probably shouldn't, you know, I do not really lead by example for a lot of my nutrition and things like that.
Authentically.
Exactly. You know, coaches struggle too with body image sometimes, and it is sort of, it's taught me that actually I don't have to be skinny to be beautiful. You don't have to be, you know, bodybuilder to be strong.
Yeah.
There are, you know, I've actually signed up, not having said no, because I don't feel.
What have you said yes to?
So Saturday, there's a group of us that have entered Gym Race. I don't know if you've heard of Gym Race. It's a bit like a High Rock.
Oh, okay. I know what High Rocks is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not prepared for this in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, you're gonna have so much fun though.
And we were sitting there going, right, okay, so there's like, you've got to run. There's 10 events. There's a kilometre run between each 2 events. Okay, all right. So we're just getting to the end, right? We're just getting to the end. We don't have to do really well. We don't have to do anything. We just got to give it a go. We've got to do it.
Yeah.
And get to the end and not die.
Yeah.
That is my aim. That is my aim. So it's all about setting, you know, if you have your own individual target and you can work towards that target. So another one I'm working on is I want to get to a 5-minute plank. I'd love to get to a 5-minute plank. Yeah. I'm at 4:30, 4:25 at the moment. I'm like, I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there.
Yes.
But it's taken time.
Yeah.
It takes discipline. But yeah, loving and appreciating what your body can do, pushing it so you don't break it.
Yes.
Knowing your limits, but pushing just enough beyond your limit you can improve. Yeah. It's a very fine line, and it's a great balance, and it's learning to listen to your body as well.
It's so important.
You know, I occasionally go running as part of my workouts, and it's like the last couple of weeks, it's like, oh, my knees have been a bit chippy. I'll come back from the running, we'll get on the bike.
Yeah.
So you do have to listen to your body and understanding what your body is capable of, pushing it just a little bit further, but not so much that you break it. Because then if you break it, you're back to square one, and that is
absolutely devastating.
And yeah, it's a wonderful machine.
Mm-hmm.
And appreciating what that machine can do is that's all I have to say on that. It's a machine, and I need to fuel it better. But I like chocolate. I'm sorry.
Chocolate is amazing.
I'm sorry. I like chocolate. Can't help it.
I feel like I'm on a bit of that journey myself. I as a kid, you could not get me off a pitch or whatever. I did gymnastics as a kid. I did netball. I mean, at high school, if they needed an extra player for anything that was going on, get me in. I did rugby. I did the football. I played hockey for a while. I don't even think I really truly know the rules of hockey. So. and my husband,
big stick, hit ball, right? I mean,
yeah. my husband actually, he played hockey, and he did, he's gonna be so offended when he is, and I'm probably gonna get a lecture on the rules of hockey, I'm sure. But I would volunteer for everything, trampolining, gymnastics, you name it, I would be there. And I think it was such a huge part of me, and I would go to the gym all the time. Actually loved going, lifting, and feeling strong and powerful for lifting something has been so important to me. And then when I had my wrist surgery about 3 years ago, I mean, the surgery went fine, but I'm hypermobile. And so what really should have only taken me a couple of weeks to get over was 3 years of physio. And, you know, even at this point, like, it's probably still not 100%, but, you know, I don't live in daily pain anymore. So, you know, win. But it's been a long journey.
Yeah.
And it's been a huge learning curve for me, because the things that I enjoyed about moving my body haven't been accessible to me.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, what else can I try? And the other thing I really loved is dance.
Yeah.
However, it turns out flailing your arms around in a dance class also hurts. And so I was like, okay. So I'm sort of working around that. And actually, I've been working on my 40 before 40 challenge.
Okay.
And
what have you got on it?
Well, so to the average person, it probably doesn't sound like that big a deal. But for me, I have an absolute block on lifting a weight plate, one of those big round discs, onto a bar. And it's purely because that has caused me so much pain. And it's also, you're right, it's the emotional barrier between something that I loved so hard that I've had to gently let go of in order to heal myself. And that has been, I started this challenge in December. We are recording this in mid-March at this point. There's a delay, sorry if anyone's listening and is like trying to work out the timeline. But there is a block, there is a mental block. And honestly, of all the things, most people would say that's the easiest thing on my challenge list. And actually it's the hardest one for me.
Yeah.
And I'm almost there. I can feel it. Like I feel like I'm days away. And actually this conversation is probably going to be the thing that heals that. And I can go forward and do it. But there isn't even a weight. It's not like I said I need to lift 20 kilos onto a bar and lift the bar. I don't even have to lift the bar.
You just want to put the weight on.
Give me a 1 kilo. That's all I have to do.
Start small, light bar. So we've got some at the gym. Come along. We'll do it.
Perfect. But yeah, that's it. And I think it's meeting your body where it is. Yeah. And as we go through life as well, the body that you had at 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever age you might be, might not even be the same body with the same abilities that you had yesterday.
No. But yeah, it is. And I think, you know, harping back to menopause changes everything. So your metabolism changes quite drastically.
Yeah.
You find it much harder to lose weight. So I think when I first met you, I was probably quite skinny. I was size 10, maybe. I've now gone back up to a 14, but I am stronger within that 14 than I was when I was a 14 before.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm stronger in that body makes me proud of the body I've got.
It should be. It's a fabulous one.
Thank
and
you.
Also, I think we get so worked up on the sizing of our clothes sometimes.
Do you know what? If I go to my vintage clothing, I'm a size 18. I don't. It's like, it is what it is. But that is vintage size, and it just goes to show how sizing has changed over the decades. And you're like, yeah, don't put a label on the number. I mean, for men it's fine. 32-inch waist and a 34-inch leg. You don't get that with women's clothes at all. It's like, oh, we're going to put you in a 12 or a 14. It's like, just give me a 32-inch waist.
Yeah,
I'm happy. Actually, it's a 31, but you know.
Room for dessert in there.
Absolutely. You have to, well, yeah, you have to have pudding. Give me a starter and a pudding. I can miss out the main meal, mate.
I'm the same.
They're like, what are you going to have? I'm like, oh, I really fancy that starter and that pudding. But I really have to have this bit in the middle.
Wow. So I have been on meals where I'm just like, no, cut out the main. I want these.
Absolutely. I'm starter and a puddings person. Not exactly extolling good nutrition values there, but yeah, you want what you want, right?
Yeah.
Don't say no.
Exactly. How has the transition been for you into being business owner and reinventing life, sort of, you know, especially after a significant
reinventing. I don't know whether I don't even think it was reinventing. I mean, as I say, I bumble through life. If it happens, it happens, and I deal with it. And I don't feel like I reinvented. I just found that
Do you feel more aligned, maybe?
I do. I feel like I'm doing something that, not that I was destined to do. I'm not destined to. Destined. It just sounds a bit naff, doesn't it? But something that I'm comfortable doing, and I'm semi-confident. I mean, we've talked about imposter syndrome, right? And there's so many people out there have this imposter syndrome. It's like, you know, why am I doing this? Should I really be doing it? Am I qualified to be doing it? And it's like, well, if I wasn't qualified to be doing it, I wouldn't be doing it. If I wasn't doing it well, then I'd be broke by now, right? The business would have folded. So I've got to be doing something right. And you kind of lean into that, well, I'm doing something right. We'll keep going. It's working. Don't break if it ain't, you know, don't fix it if it ain't broke. So yeah, I wouldn't say I would necessarily reinvent it. I've just gone off on a little spur. I like maybe a tangent.
I'm exploring tangents.
I'm exploring tangents. What will bring me next? I don't know.
You seem so happy with it though, and that's what I love. I feel like you live like, and there's a word, whimsy, and I feel like you approach life with this sort of whimsy of, you know what, I'm going to try. And I think it's one of my favorite things. I love the fact that every time I catch up with you, I never know what you're going to say, and I'm but in the most beautiful way. No, I don't mean that as a full compliment, because you're fully living.
Well, I like to think so. Yeah, I mean, there have been some challenges over the years. I won't lie, and you know, you have to be supportive. You can't always do them all on your own. You have to have that circle of people around you who are empathetic about how you feel and why you feel that way. So the thing that springs to mind for me is scuba diving. Absolutely terrified me. Absolutely. And it has taken me a long time. I'm going to give them a shout out. Fin Divers. They're based in Stevenage. They have been so patient with me, and it has taken years for me to actually let go of somebody's hand while I'm diving.
To be honest, the fact that you were in the water is enough for me.
I mean, I mean, you mentioned all the hobbies I did. I'm not great with water sports. I'm not a strong swimmer. Right? My husband swims like a fish. So in order for us to spend quality time together, we do hobbies that I enjoy and we do hobbies that he enjoys. And that means going well out of my comfort zone for a lot of them. So sailing, I'm known as a bunt.
Okay.
A bunt. Bloody useless, but no trouble.
Right? Okay. I love that. Okay.
Bunt. So we went on an overnight cruise. It was quite choppy. It was after the storms had come through, and we decided to go on this sailing trip over to France with this company, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to sit here for the entire 6 hours it's going to take us to get there. So I got the nickname of a bunt on that particular journey. I've got a bit better. I can navigate. I like the detail of things. So give me something to navigate, whether it be land or on water. I'm happy as a pig in the brown smelly stuff. Try not to swear too much.
You're doing well.
Am I? Oh God. Yeah. So I love the detail of things. Why I was into data when I was into IT, because I like the detail behind it. When you actually sit and think about scuba diving, and you're like, okay, so I'm going down to the depths. I can't come straight up because I will probably get the bends. My first experience in open water, we went to Egypt. Beautiful place to go and do it. And I was doing my open water qualification. And part of those, you have to sit on the bottom. You have to take your mask off. It fills with water. You have to take your mask off. You put it on, you clear it. So bearing in mind, I'm not a great swimmer either. So we each got our own little guide. everybody takes their turn and doing it. And I'm like, so I fill my mask. I'm like, terrified. I'm like, like this. And I try and clear my mask. And I'm like, okay, I've cleared my mask. And I open my eyes and I can feel people fiddling around because you have to take your mask off, put it back on underwater. And I can feel, and I'm sitting there thinking, hang on, why are they filling my mask again? Everybody else only had to do it once. Why are they making me do it more than once? Trying to clear the mask. And what I didn't realise was part of the mask had folded in. So water just kept pouring in. And no matter how much I cleared it, it wouldn't clear. And so at this point, I'm starting to panic a little bit because obviously, because your nose, you've got seawater going up your nose. It tastes like horrible. I open my eyes to see what's going on. It's stinging because it's full of seawater. And I'm like, okay, right, no, I've had enough. I'm going up now. Yeah. And they're like, okay. And so what even amazed me was, I mean, bless Rick, he was my guide at the time, and he even made sure I did the safety stop and all of that, and he took me straight up. And I took the mask off and I'm vomiting. He says, oh, right. He says, I don't really mean to be nasty. He said, but the easiest way for us to get back is to go back down underwater. And I just sat there and looked at him and went, really? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Right, okay. No, I don't really want to do. And I literally could not do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was terrified. And we've got these lovely little Egyptian fellas. They could see that we were in trouble, so they had to swim me back, and they came running in, picked me up out of the water. I'm like, I can still walk. It's okay. I can still. No, they carry me all the way back, and I'm like, bless them. And I then spent, I think it was about an hour in the swimming pool at the resort with Matt, who basically we did drill after drill after drill, and all the lads sat around the pool with beers going, oh, how many do you think she's going to do? Do you think she's going to manage it like this? Having bets about how well, whether I do it.
If someone makes a bet on whether or not I'm going to do it, you can absolutely bet the next one.
I did the same with kayaking. Oh, she'll never get to rob. Right, okay. Give me a challenge, and I'll do it. So yeah, the following day we went back down. Matt took them down. We did the drill, fine, no problems whatsoever, and everything was fine. Still terrifies me every time I go, but the reward is what's down there.
Yes, absolutely.
And you get to see something not everybody's going to see, because not everybody's brave enough to give it a go.
So water. I mean, look.
No, we're not friends. Me and water.
No.
Like, shower maybe. I can do a shower. I can do a bath. But actually, yeah.
My equivalent of that story is my husband and I booked a trip to go cave exploring in Japan. Now, I love I've done the Genelin Caves and Blue Mountains out in Australia. I've done a few bits here and there.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, the things that I've gone on are the ones where you don't really have to do much other than put a hard hat on. And it's normally some kind of like carved steps.
Oh, yeah. No, I can do that. I can do that.
Yeah. So
don't get me caving.
I am convinced that the picture on the website that I booked this tour on was that experience.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, it's we've looked at Mount Fuji, and then there's a coach who drops us off in this random car park in the middle of nowhere. I can still see Fuji. I haven't got that far. And we are in, well, I don't actually really know where we are. This woman comes up, she's got out of a car, she's handing me some kind of like red arrow style, like jumpsuit type thing, and a hard
And this didn't give you a clue?
Well, no, it hadn't really registered at that point either. And then she said, yeah, come on, like get in the car. We're with other people. There's one other, I don't know if they were a couple or friends, but there's one male, one female, and they definitely know each other. And so the four of us get into this car and drive us into, and I won't name it, but the well-known forest that a lot of people know about, where, I'm sure people who know Japan will probably know which forest I'm referring to. Anyway, there is an ice cave there, and it turns out we have booked to go into that forest, to go into the depths of an ice cave, and I am petrified of heights or anything with a large drop, and I am about to go into a cave with a woman I have just met on a tour that I didn't know that we were going to be doing, and all I've got is a headlamp on my helmet. Anyway, I looked at this cave and I turned to my husband like, I don't think I'm going to do that. And then I turned around and this guy and girl that were also with us, I was so excited. And she's like, yeah, let's go. And I'm like, nope, I am not going to be the only person who does not go into this cave. I was petrified. I had to climb down a rickety ladder into the thing. I'm in a cave where they're telling me that there is currently a layer of ice on the top of the water, which is pretty thick, but I'm literally standing on ice above other water in a cave. And then she's like, just turn your headlamps off and you can experience what it's like to be in here. And
Do I have to?
well, we did, and I hated it. But here we are. I managed to get out. But you know what? I'm so proud of myself for doing it, because actually, how many people get that experience?
Absolutely.
And I'm so
Don't say no,
myself
right?
for
Don't say no.
And now I get to say, yeah, well, I've been in an ice cave. Like, check this, a really fun story. But the truth is, I was petrified the entire time. But yeah, sometimes when we push ourselves and within limits.
There is an inner monologue as well, isn't there, that you go through? It's like, right, well, why are you frightened of doing this? Why are you being so stupid? Just put your big girl pants on and get on with it. And yeah, there is that. And sometimes it takes longer than others. Sometimes you just have to monologue a little bit longer than a little bit longer. Yeah. And I just need to monologue just a little bit more. Yeah. Just give me another 10 minutes. Maybe another year.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, just come back to me next. I feel like this might be a long answer to this question.
I did.
We've talked about the kayaking, and we've talked about the scuba diving qualification and the level 2 and the level 3 of the PT. I'm just wondering, are there any other qualifications that you've accumulated across the sort of spectrum of this sound? Like
I don't think so. No.
Are there any you've been considering?
I don't have time. What time at the moment is quite a valuable commodity for me. So, I mean, my husband on that 2-page document, my husband said I've got 2 modes: active and sleeping.
I have the same modes.
So it is very much a case of, okay, right, I'm active, I'm busy, I'm working. Oh look, I've stopped. And it is literally, I will sit on the sofa and it'll be like,
I'm understimulated, it's time for a nap.
Yeah. It is very much that at the moment. Are there any other qualifications I fancy? I don't say on film actually. So there's advanced open water, which means you can go a little bit deeper, but there are some other bits and pieces to do with that. One of them is jumping off the back of a boat into the open water rather than doing a shore. And the first time I had a go at that last year was a complete disaster. But I then went on and did a second one, and it was like, if it's okay, but it takes away from the rest of the dive, because you're like consciously, your adrenaline hits that spike, and it takes a very long time to come down from that spike, even if you're in beautiful surroundings. So yeah, there's little things that I don't know whether I really, no, I'm sure there'll be something that pops along somewhere along the line, and I'll go, oh, that seems like a really good idea, and then I'll do it and go, well, maybe not. So I'm looking at doing strength and conditioning courses at the moment, and again, it's just finding time to niche out. I do need my sleep, but sleep usually comes at about 9 o'clock in the evening, right?
Yes, because I'm imagining you have to get up quite early for work.
So if I'm coaching in the morning, I'm up at 4:30. So I get up and then I can sort of like put around the house for 20 minutes, you know, get the dishwasher done and everything, and then I put off to work, because you have to set up the gym beforehand. The coaches are very good at setting up as much as they can the night before, but of course they're finishing late and they've had a long day, so it's a bit of there are bits sometimes you have to do, and just making sure you're ready for everybody to come in, and people start coming in at about 5:45, 5:50 for their class. So yeah, it's but I don't mind early mornings. I think I'm a morning person rather than a late night person.
I'm the opposite. I'm a full night owl. If I could safely function between, so like maybe the hours of 10, sort of 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, it would be perfect.
I mean, even when I worked at school, I was in for 6:30.
Yeah.
Because you know, partly because I wanted to leave at 2 so I could pick the kids up from school. And I was fortunate to be able to be that flexible with my work at the time. But I just feel like you get more out of the day.
Yeah.
Possibly because there's more daylight. I do like daylight. Daylight is my friend. And I get winter I find quite hard.
I do as well. Yeah. For someone, I mean, to be fair, as a night owl, I have to really try to get outside and get some sun. But
yeah, I like, say, I mean, today we were outside because it was such a beautiful day that it's like, yeah, you know what, you've got to make the most of it. We live in the UK. We don't get sunshine that often, right? Let's get it in. Let's get it in there. Vitamin D, bring it on.
Yep.
Sunshine, smiles, sun's out, guns out, right?
Exactly.
But yeah.
If anyone's been listening to this episode and really relates to where you are right now, what is a piece of information that you would love for them to know?
Ooh. I think if you're on the cusp of change, you've just got to go in. Just do it. Both feet, jump in, go whole hog. Don't patter around on the peripheries. You lose so much time, you lose so much experience by not grabbing hold. Grab hold and do it. You've got one life. You've got to live it to its utmost. And you know what? Surround yourself with people who are champions of you, not people who will drag you down. Because that is, I think in all walks of life, you're always going to have people who are so nice to you, to your face. And then behind your back, they're like, well, she should be doing this, she should be doing that. Ignore them. You do what you feel you need to do for you. Because at the end of the day, you've got to live with you. They don't.
Exactly.
You haven't got to live with these people, unless you're married to them, obviously. But I'm fortunate that my support circle, my husband's my biggest champion. And he's like, yeah, just do it. Yeah, be fine. I'm like, okay, all right then. You think I can do it? I can obviously do it. Don't delay.
Yeah.
Don't delay. Just go.
Like short lean in, right?
Absolutely. Lean it, grab it with both hands, strangle it around the neck, tell it who's in charge, and then walk away because you're happy.
And if anyone is thinking out there, oh, I'm pretty near, I might need a gym to go to, where are we finding you?
We're finding me in AbFab Fit Club, Gunpowder Park. We've got a website, AbFab Fit Club. Just had a big overhaul. And if you want to franchise and become part of the happy family that we are, they are looking for franchisees still, to spread the brand throughout the country. Waltham Abbey, North London. Give us a look. We are the only ladies only gym in the area.
Amazing.
So yeah, we've got our niche. We live for it.
Well, I need to pop in. I need to come and say
you do. You need to come in. We need to do that branding shoot as well.
We absolutely do. Well, you and I clearly need to chat.
We do.
And if anyone else has been moved by anything that either of us have said, please do reach out. Leave something in the comments. We would love to hear from you, and just know that you're there and what is resonating with you. I am going to be back next week with another fabulous episode. But for now, thank you so much for coming on. I am so happy that you are here. And every time I see you, there are I just love the fact that you live life so fully with all these incredible updates. And I'm so looking forward to next time I see you.
Oh yeah, I've got to try and think of something to do now then, right?
Oh, you don't have to. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. But yes. Thank you so much. And for those of you at home, just remember, you're not broken. You're just finding your user manual.